I'm a part of the student club called Transdimensions, and we have started a weekly, sort of a week-long series, sorry, on the festival of Janmashtami. So we have named the series as Pre-Janmashtami Bash series, which cover various aspects of Lord Sri Krishna's birth and how various stories related to that incident can teach us wonderful life lessons that can improve our lives and the worldview around our own routine, right? So, for today, we have the topic, and even today is the last day in the series, so that way, today is the special. And the topic that we have for tonight is the demon's response. So, in the past sessions, we had discussed how nature had celebrated Lord's appearance and how Lord's parents celebrated this Janmashtami. And now we'll look at how demon responded and how he reacted to this festival Janmashtami. So for that we have our speaker Sri Vigradas sir. Welcome sir. So
Thank
we're
you,
happy to
Santosh.
have you here today, and
Yes,
we would like to hear more about what lessons can we really learn from how the demon Kamsa responded to this very festival. Over to you, sir.
thank you. Let's begin with a few prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitina Mine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Well, so we have discussed so far some interesting incidents connected with Janmashtami, some interesting aspects about this festival. We have also learned some interesting life lessons from this festival. Now, today being the last part of the Pre-Janmashtami Bash, we are going to get into the very incident when Lord Krishna finally made his divine appearance. Yesterday, we were discussing how Lord Krishna, before he entered the womb of Mother Devaki, there was, joy everywhere. And as soon as Mother Devaki gave birth to this child, the eighth child, first of all, the Lord appeared as the Supreme Lord Narayana, four-handed form, just to assure Devaki and Vasudeva that they need not worry, and he has come now, and the atrocities of Kamsa will very soon come to an end. So the Lord wanted to assure that he's there to give his divine protection. So he first appeared as the Lord, and then upon the request of Devaki, who was very anxious for the Lord's protection, the Lord transformed himself into a small baby. And then we know a very miraculous thing happened. The Lord had instructed Vasudeva to carry away the baby Krishna from the prison house of Mathura to Nandagaon's house in Gokul. And as soon as the Lord transformed himself into a baby, the the guards of the prison house, they they all felt uh, fully sleepy. They felt drowsy under the influence of what is called the mystic power of the Lord, Yogamaya. So they all slept off, and miraculously the shackles of Vasudeva broke open, and the locks of the prison gates also opened up, and Lord Krishna, the newly born baby, was carried in a basket by Vasudeva out of the prison house. And then on his way to Gokul, actually, River Yamuna, there was a flood in River Yamuna. It is explained in the scriptures that River Yamuna was very eager to get the touch of the lotus feet of Krishna, and that is why she over flooded, and that's how she touched the feet of Lord Krishna. So, uh, this is the incident. First, what happened is, as you can see on the screen, the Lord appeared in his original form, assured his protection, and then also told Vasudeva to take the newly born child to Gokul, to the house of Nanda Maharaj, where he could grow up safely. And on the way, yes, he reached Gokul. The child was given there. At that time, Nanda Maharaja's wife, Yashoda Mai, she had given birth to a baby girl, and that baby girl is Yoga Maya, the energy of the Lord. So she was replaced. I mean, she was brought by Vasudeva back into the prison house, and just like before, the shackles were again, they came back to their place, and the doors of the prison house, the gates got locked again. See, everything is so mystical. The Lord Krishna is called Yogeshwara. He is the master of all yogic powers. So that he proved right from the beginning of his appearance. Now, one thing that the Lord is trying to teach or trying to tell all of us or communicate to all of us is nothing is impossible if we have the grace of Krishna. The Lord wants to assure us this. It may be impossible for us, for we limited human beings, but as far as the Lord is concerned, for him nothing is impossible. Impossibles become possible for the Lord, and since devotees of the Lord are completely dependent on the Lord, devotees also can perform impossible things by the grace of the Lord. In other words, if we have faith and devotion in Lord Krishna, even though there may be some failures in our life, but they're all temporary setbacks. But if we have faith in the Lord, we can come back from any kind of setbacks. That is what the Lord is trying to teach through this interesting incident. Now, this news, the news that all the prison guards woke up and they got to know that a baby has been born. Devaki has delivered a baby, and immediately one of the guards went and informed this to Kamsa. It was dead of night. Kamsa was sleeping, but as soon as he got this news, Kamsa became very, very afraid. It is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam that his hair stood on end. He was so afraid. He was so, he was actually not getting peaceful sleep in the night. He was always fearful, thinking about the eighth child of Devaki, who is going to be the cause of his death. Everywhere he would only see omens. In fact, there is a description that when he would go in front of the mirror, he would see his reflection without his head. And sometimes he would see his shadow was set on fire. Sometimes he would dream that in the night, in the dream, he would see that he was fully shaven headed. His head was fully shaved off, and he was riding on a donkey. This kind of uh, omens, bad omens, Kamsa saw. So he was very, very afraid. You know, the greatest fear for anybody in this world, especially for those who are very attached to their body, especially for those who think that I am this body and without the body I have no existence. for them, for such a people, the greatest fear is fear of death. And Kamsa was fully immersed in this fear of death. Now, immediately he went to the prison house. He at once wanted to kill that baby. Now, but he went to the prison house and he found that it was a baby girl. And Devaki was feeling very upset, and she was crying, "Oh, my brother is going to come now and kill this baby girl also, exactly the way he had done to my first six children." So she started crying, and but the merciless, she started pleading. See, she is after all a girl. She's going to be like your daughter. She's not going to do any harm to you. Please, uh, please, just leave her. She was trying to plead in so many ways, but the stone-hearted Kamsa did not care for any pleading words of Devaki. Now, this is another thing that we get to know. A person who is too much materialistic, such a person does not consider even relationships, his own relationships, when it comes to a threat for his own life. He is so self-centric, selfish person. That is Kamsa. So, ruthlessly, he took that baby girl and he was about to dash that girl onto a stone. Immediately, the girl slipped off from his hands and she appeared in the in the sky as Durga Devi, eight-handed form of Durga. And Durga said, "A foolish Kamsa, you want to kill me, but your death has already taken birth and he is safe elsewhere." This was the uh, instruction that Durga Devi gave to Kamsa. And immediately she vanished. So Durga Devi, she is the supreme energy of the Supreme Lord, and nobody can harm Durga. So from this, what we understand: man proposes, God disposes. We think that everything is according to my plan; it will happen. Kamsa was thinking like that. As soon as the child is born, I will kill that child, and I'll not have any more fear of my death. But without even his knowledge, in his own prison, which was beefed up with so much security, the newly born child Krishna escaped, and he couldn't do anything. He was helpless. So, through these incidents, our scriptures want to tell us that we should not be proud of our so-called intelligence, of our so-called abilities, our so-called security that we have created. In front of God and nature's plan, all our plans are bound to be foiled. This is one interesting, important life lesson that we should all understand. This will naturally make us very humble. If we become proud of our abilities, we will not be able to see reality. But we should be humble. Humility is a very important character quality for a person who wants to know the truth. Yesterday, I was telling you that there are two kinds of people: the Devatas and the Asuras. Devatas are those who are truth seekers and truth lovers. They embrace truth. Whereas the Asuras are those who dodge truth. They hate truth, or they are rather they don't want to face the truth. Right? They are called Asuras. And such Asuras, they want to remain in darkness. Even if there is an opportunity for them to come to the light of knowledge, they don't do it. Narad Muni used to visit uh, Kamsa many times, but Narad Muni, being such a saintly person, Kamsa could not take any proper advantage of Narad Muni's visit to his place. In fact, he was always asking Narad Muni how to kill Krishna. Please tell me how I can kill Krishna. Narad Muni could have given spiritual knowledge to Kamsa had Kamsa been inquisitive to make relevant inquiries. But on the contrary, Kamsa used to ask such questions to Narad Muni. How to become rid of my enemy, Krishna? Please tell me. In this way. So a person who is too proud, who is too much into the bodily concept of life, cannot appreciate reality, even if reality is present in front of his own eyes. Pashyan apina pashyati. The Bhagavatam says, even if such a person, Pashyan, he is seeing the reality in front of his eyes, but still he wants to dodge it. He doesn't want to see it. So there is one incident in the Mahabharata. There is a question asked to Yudhishthir Maharaj by one Yaksha. He asks, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? So Yudhishthir Maharaj replies, Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. He says, Shesham sthavaram icchanti kimascharya atah param. He says, every day we see in front of our eyes a lot of people dying. They're going to Yamaraj. They're ending their life. They're succumbing to death. But the rest of us, we think that, no, I will not die. Let me make a settlement here in this world. I'll settle down. I have so many facilities. I will increase those facilities. I'll remain happy in this world. What could be more, Ashcharya, most wonderful thing than this? Yudhishthir Maharaj says, it's a fact. So, this material world in which we are living is also called Martya Loka. It is a world of death. We say, right, as sure as death. Death is the most certain thing that can happen to everybody, that happens to everybody in this world. In spite of that, if we are seeing this in front of our own eyes, we are seeing, but we are not preparing ourselves to face death in the right consciousness, then it is a great loss after getting this human form of life. An animal cannot prepare itself in terms of consciousness how to face death, right? But we human beings, we can prepare ourselves. We can elevate our consciousness to the spiritual platform, and we can actually embrace a glorious death, right? We can transcend death. It is possible by making spiritual inquiries and by cultivating spiritual knowledge. But demoniac people like Kamsa, being too much afflicted with the bodily concept of life, identifying himself with the body, they miss out the point in human life. And you know what happened after this? There were this Kamsa, for time being, there was some kind of a transformation in his heart. He let go Vasudeva and Devaki. He released them from the prison house. But then, uh, you know, there were his ministers who were also like him with demoniac mentality. So his ministers said, why are you sitting simply? You should actually make sure that all children who are born in our kingdom in the past 1 week or 15 days, they should all be killed. Only then you can be 100% sure that your enemy has been completely destroyed. Otherwise, anytime the enemy can attack you. So this was the advice given by the friends or the ministers of Kamsa. You see, Jaisi Sangat, Vaisi Rangat, we say. What kind of association we have that determines our consciousness, our seeking in life. That's why it's very important to actually surround ourselves with right people. So Kamsa, even though there was some kind of a change in his heart after hearing the words of Durga Devi, he thought, okay, he was afraid, and even after that, Vasudeva also advised him in spiritual matters. There was some kind of a change, but that change did not last forever because of his demoniac friends who ill advised him. He said, you please make sure that every child who is born in the past 15 days in your kingdom, in the neighboring places, they should all be killed. That's how Kamsa began his atrocities. he sent various demons. The first demon that he sent was Putana. Putana was a witch and she had some magical powers. She would disguise herself as a beautiful maiden and she would go to every house to check who is the newly born son, newly born child. And she would feed them poison and kill them. Like this, Putana killed so many. And finally, she came to Nanda Maharaja's house also in Gokul. And we know how miraculously Krishna strong the personal means of Janmashtami and in Nanda. So with this, we come to the end of discussion. Yes, this is the image of how Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, everybody celebrated the appearance of baby Krishna in Gokul. They all rejoiced very happily. They celebrated. So with this, we come to the end of today's discussion. Anyone has any questions, anything to say, anything to ask, any comments, please feel free to ask or make a comment at this point. Okay, then. So I'll hand over to Santosh. So from tomorrow, I think we have 3 days special Janmashtami uh, programs. Please do attend, organized by Trans Dimensions Club. Uh, please don't miss. Please invite your friends also to be part of it. And happy Janmashtami in advance. Hare Krishna. Over to Santosh.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It was quite a wonderful explanation of various incidents and what teachings it can really impart that we really miss out. So, coming to the announcements, we have a 3 day session planned uh, for the upcoming 3 days, 26th, 27th, and 28th, under three themes like umbrella, where under each day you will have just that particular theme related activities going on. So on the 26th, which is tomorrow, we have musical performances, and on 27th we have storytelling sessions, and on 28th we have a talk by one of the professors as well. So all these sessions would be around 30 to 40 minutes duration. And here's the poster for tomorrow, 26th. It's named Crescendo. So it's a musical celebration of Janmashtami. So students can just join in and uh, get together and share the wonderful songs and bhajans that they mesmerize, or that they can even learn. There are a few short songs also, so people can participate and share songs about Lord Krishna on this auspicious occasion that we have created. So that is it for today. So hoping to meet you tomorrow in Crescendo. So we will have so many students sharing wonderful musical presentations. Hope to see you there. Okay. Take care. Have a good evening. Bye bye.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.